Thank you all for being here for our April leaders meeting. We are very excited to have you. If you have questions, please wait until the very end when we are at our Q&A portion to post those questions. We are using the chat function for the Q&A, so if you put them in now, we will lose them. So if you just wait until we come to that Q&A part, that would be perfect. So we're going to introduce the team. So my name is Tori Harris. I have the privilege of serving as the camp director for Lost Valley.
My name is Sarah Lindmark. I am super excited to be program director this summer. That's me on the left.
I'm Justin Scott. I'm the lead ranger for OCBSA, and I am the resident ranger at Lost Valley. And then this is my 11th summer working at Lost Valley.
Hi everyone, my name is Bijan. I will be an assistant camp director this summer. All right, so we are going to introduce some topics real quick that we're going to be covering during this month's meeting. If you were at the meeting on Sunday, we're going to cover the exact same information. But if you were not, this information will be new to you. So we're going to do a quick COVID-19 update, talk about payment scheduling. We're going to discuss adult programming and overnighters that will happen in camp during your week with us. We're going to discuss a little bit about OA night and how the OA functions in camp. We're going to discuss the menu and how dietary restrictions will work, including campsite cooking, which is on Wednesday. And then we're going to briefly talk about our trading post. Like I have said at our last meeting, we try and make these meetings informative to you in sections. So we know that we're not going to discuss everything at tonight's meeting that you may need to know at camp. We'll reference you to the leader's guide for other information. If you missed the March meeting, it's posted on our website under summer camp and down the hill leaders meeting. So you can go back and watch that if you'd like. And then next month and the following month, we'll continue to give you more information as you get closer to your week.
Okay, so our COVID-19 updates. Like before, we don't anticipate mass or pre-camp testing our cohorts. We will be doing medical screenings on site. So that's when we check your medical form. We're going to ask you, are you feeling okay in camp, ready for camp? And then we're also asking that all units do that before camp. So that QR code is going to lead to the BSA's pre-event screening. And so we ask that all units do that before they even come to camp. So when you meet up to drive up as a troop, that's when you're asking those questions. You're sending it out to your grown-ups and your parents beforehand so that nobody is meeting your troop, nobody is coming to camp that is sick. That's really important for all communicable diseases, not just COVID, to make sure that we keep our campers and our staff healthy. For our payments, we are into our second payment right now. So that was started to be due April 16th. If you have any scouts that need a campership, and you can follow that QR code to find the campership form. We do not want to turn any scouts away because of financial reasons. So please make sure they fill out that campership form and they can be awarded camperships. We ask that they are done by June 1st. If they are rewarded or awarded a campership, then that'll be put onto their account through Blackpug. Our final payment and our adult payment is coming up next month, which is May 17th.
Alrighty, so as Tori had referenced, we use an online registration and scheduling program called Blackpug. And so when you sign up for camp at Lost Valley, somebody gets assigned to be the registration contact. And that's the person that probably filled out the link and put in all of your troops' information. And that is the person that's going to be able to sign your scouts up for Merit Badge program. The Merit Badge program registration sign up opens Sunday, May 1st at 2 p.m. So That registration contact and only that registration contact will have access at 2 p.m. on Sunday the 1st to be able to sign your scouts up for merit badges. What that means is your scouts should probably start thinking about what things they want to sign up for. If you go to our website, ssrlv.org, under summer camp and leader links, you will find the merit badges that we're offering. So anybody has access to that sheet. You can send it to all of your parents and adults and everyone, and they can start thinking through what merit badges they want to take. Some of our merit badges are only offered during certain times, and so that's going to need to be figured out. When registration opens, it will be first come, first serve for the merit badge classes that we're offering. If you need help with Blackpug, because sometimes technology does not quite like to do its job, and or it's difficult to do something that really shouldn't be difficult. We are going to be offering an open Zoom room where some of our team will be available to help you sign up or get registered for merit badges. So if you're that registration contact, you should know who you are. You will have access at 2 p.m. Tori and I will have a link that you can join if you want to jump into the meeting if you're having problems or questions, and we'll be available for that time so that you can use us if you need us. If you have any questions about things, you can either ask them in the Q&A section of our meeting tonight, or you can email us, and our email will be posted later, but you can email us and we'll get back to you with questions, with answers.
And before I jump into adult program, we will do a walkthrough of how to register your scouts at the end of this meeting after the Q&A session. For anyone that has not used Blackpug before, we'll do a quick overview of that. And then, as Bijan said, we will be online on Sunday to help as well. So adult program. So we offer trainings for our adults as well as some fun programs. So we do offer Introduction to Outdoor Leader Skills. This is a required training for anyone that wishes to be a Scoutmaster, and is highly recommended for our all adult leaders. It goes over knots, lashing, first aid, cooking, general outdoor skills, nature, hiking, camping, all those good things that our scouts are learning. And so as adult leaders, you will learn that too, so you can be prepared to help your scouts in the future. Some of our fun programs we do are Pinecone Golf and the Scoutmaster Shootout. For the Pinecone Golf, Scoutmasters and adult leaders build their own golf clubs at camp. This happens all at camp. And then we do a tournament out in the meadow with some pine cones, and it's a ton of fun and some friendly competition. We have our Scoutmaster Shootout, which is our tri-range shootout on shotgun, archery, and rifle for our leaders to test out their shooting sports skills. That'll happen on Friday. We have open swim for adults. We have plenty of service opportunities. You can talk to Justin, our ranger. He will hook you up. If you have any skills, we will use them for service opportunities. And then if there are classes that y'all would like to participate in, whether it's welding or ATVs or first aid, or any of those, and there's space available, adults are allowed to sit in and join in on those classes as well.
So at Lost Valley, there are 3 programs that require overnighters as part of their program. And an overnighter at Lost Valley means that campers that are signed up for these programs will actually spend the night with other members of that program class for one night during the week, instead of sleeping in their campsite with the rest of their troop. The 2 merit badges specifically are the Wilderness Survival Overnighter. For that, they go out to a somewhat remote location, they stay in camp, and they build themselves shelters out of like found objects in the area. And for the Astronomy Overnighter, we complete a couple of the late night observation requirements. So we have a little observatory, and they do some stargazing with our Astronomy Merit Badge counselor. And they spend the night out at the observatory so that they don't end up having to come back to your campsite at like midnight. We don't want that. Our COPE program at Lost Valley is called Camp Borrego, and they also do an overnighter that's a little bit more backpacking intensive. I think in past summers, they've done, I think, something like a 3 or 4 mile hike out to a backpacking site. And for those 3 programs, if any of your scouts decide to sign up for them, we highly recommend that they bring a sleeping bag that's easy for them to carry, you know, something in a decently small stuff sack. Make sure that they also have something like a smaller backpack that they can carry little things in, like toiletries they would need for one night, any sleeping things that they need, like a little travel pillow or something. I also want to mention that Search and Rescue Merit Badge does require what we call a late night program. That means that they actually go through a search and rescue exercise where they have to find a staff member who is not actually lost, but lost for the sake of the exercise. Usually campers get back to their campgrounds after that at about 10 p.m. Now, we bring this up because we cannot make these overnighters and late night programs possible without your help, because in order to follow youth protection guidelines to the BSA, we need lots of over 21-year-old people in attendance at those overnighters. So if you or any of your adult leaders have any interest in learning some of the skills that we teach, or just want to tag along with your campers on these overnighters, please let us know. Because we can always use adult volunteers for these, especially for our girl troops. We can always use more over 21 female chaperones. If you think that you might be available and interested in coming on one of these overnighters, I promise they're a lot of fun. Please do send us an email ahead of time. We can make sure that you're signed up and written down, and we have you ready to go for that. And if you have any questions at all, please do feel free to email us at summercamp@ssrld.org. Sorry, I was putting the email in the chat and then I was like, oh yeah, this is me too. So we highly recommend that campers bring up their Order of the Arrow sashes. And that's because we actually have an Order of the Arrow night for all of our OA members to come and meet together and have some fellowship, food, and fun. Now, we also recommend that any scouts that you have in your troop that are interested in learning about what the Order of the Arrow does, what it's about, they also come to OA night just to talk to some people who are familiar with that program. In camp, we have a lodge chief. I think Stephen's a Wiatava lodge chief. Yeah. And he handles Order of the Arrow. He handles Order of the Arrow evening, and he can run some ceremonies. If you are a member of the Order of the Arrow, please do bring your sash. We also have service opportunities during the week for both youth and adults if you're looking to build up your Order of the Arrow service hours. These can be done individually or with a group. So you can also definitely reach out to us about that. We have also, and this is a somewhat rare occasion, but we have done brotherhood ceremonies for scouts during camp. If you would like to hold a brotherhood ceremony for some of your scouts during the week, please do reach out to us in advance, because we want to let Stephen, our summer camp Order of the Arrow chief, we want to let him know in advance so he can prepare material for it. But yeah, once again, bring your sash. We're all about the OA in camp.
So Lost Valley menu and dietary restrictions. We are going to need to put all your, when you register, can you just let us know about any dietary restrictions you might have in Blackpug? We need at least 2-week notice so we know the dietary restrictions. The menu will be posted on the website. So that's a good thing. And we will have a registration, vegetarian option and gluten-free option, but just let us know when you're coming through the line, or at least on your registration form. The kitchen does not serve items with nuts. We cannot promise that, a lot of products have nuts, but we are entirely nut-free facility. We are not able to provide carb counting information. So if you have carbs you need to count, we cannot provide that. Any questions, just please send me your questions to my email and I can answer any questions you might have. So yeah. As you can see, we have the menu there and it will be posted, correct? Tori, would it be posted on the website?
Yes, it will be under kitchen corner.
Okay, perfect. So, and then we will have Wednesday's foil pack for dinner only. We will serve, Wednesday, we'll have breakfast and lunch in the dining hall and foil packs for Wednesday's dinner only. As you can see, there's the menu and the Wednesday's camping site cooking.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can take over here if you don't mind. Campsite cooking is a really great program for our troops. So the way this works is that on Wednesday nights, we kind of reserve this evening for you all to have like inter-troop fellowship together in your campsite. We don't have evening flags and we don't have evening program. We come around and we deliver charcoal to your campsite pretty early in the day, because we recommend that you get your charcoal started as soon as you get it, right? Pretty early to get it going and get it hot. Your troop guides, which are, it's usually 2 staff members are assigned to a troop each week so that they can help your new scouts get around camp, help you learn about camp schedule and all that good stuff. They will come out with you to help you get the campsite cooking process started. And they will usually like play games and help keep everyone involved. And then we provide cooking directions on the website, but we also provide cooking directions with your big box of food when you go to the dining hall and pick it up for Wednesday. In your foil packs, you're served a hamburger patty, potatoes, carrots, and onions. Then we also have foil and seasoning. However, if you want to bring up extra ingredients, like you're more than welcome to do that. A lot of troops do foil packs on their normal campouts. So we want to encourage that kind of thing. Like if your troop has a specific thing that you all like to do when you have foil dinners, like please do. But yeah, it's a really fun evening. I always enjoy it as a guide, so.
Okay, so training posts. Training posts, we have a lot of snacks, drinks, a lot of Lost Valley merchandise, custom merchandise that we just ordered. So that will be fun to have as a training post. Candies, any camping gear. We're gonna have, okay. Okay, this is for you. Program signups, evenings, and program tickets. So yeah, and then training post hours are there available. We're gonna have from 1 to 5, and then obviously from Sundays from 1 to 5, and then Monday you can see the schedule there. And then we're gonna close it and then we'll reopen it again. Anyone wants to follow up on that training post? Or are we good?
Yeah, I can follow up really, really briefly. So evening program signups, they don't happen until you get to camp. So I just want to really clarify there. Evening program signups are not happening online on Blackpug, right? So you sign up for evening program on a troop basis, usually through your SPLs. Over at the training post. And when we say program tickets, we're referring to specifically like shooting sports tickets. Yeah, for ammo at rifle, shotgun, pistol. A few other programs also require tickets. I think, Tori, you can help me confirm this, but paintball target shooting, the evening program, that requires tickets. And if you have more questions about program tickets, please feel free to reach out to me at any time. Yeah, thank you, Angie.
You're welcome. So training posts, we are going to get fun merchandise. As you can see, that's a couple items that we're going to get. And can't wait for you guys to go in the training posts.
So we are still looking for staff. If you have any youth in your troop that might be interested in coming to join staff over the summer, youth specifically 14 years old or older, please do encourage them to send in an application. We are also particularly like always looking for volunteers, right? Volunteer commissioners and volunteer health officers. So if you yourself are interested in coming up for 1 week or maybe 2 weeks, please do consider putting in an application to volunteer. Tori and I have said that we feel like we were almost like raised working at Lost Valley. And I also want to point out that it is the most fun you will ever have during a summer while still feeling like you accomplished something. It really is meaningful to work on camp staff. So highly recommend.
All right, we are wrapping up this meeting. We're going to talk about future topics real quick. Then we're going to take your questions for as long as you have questions. So right after this is a good time to put your questions in the chat, and we will get to them probably in the order that we received them. After that, when there are no more questions, you're free to leave, unless you would like to stay for the Blackpug demo. If you're the registration contact, we'll walk you really quickly through how it looks like and what signups are going to look like for you when they open. Sunday the 1st at 2 p.m. as a reminder. But in the future, we're going to talk about campsite and facilities, what specifically you can expect to have in your campsite, and what things we have at camp. We're going to tell you about Campers Campfire, how that's going to work for your scouts and what that's going to look like. We're going to talk about the check-in and check-out process. So there we do things a little bit differently at Lost Valley for check-in, hopefully to make things smoother for you. And so some of that information is helpful to have ahead of time. We will share some packing tidbits and other helpful information for packing and bringing things like your bike. Bring your bike. The packing list is available in the Leader's Guide and on our website, but we're going to share some information with you. We will talk a little bit more about surface opportunities, but Justin at camp is going to be your best resource for that. We will briefly also talk about emergency procedures, but then we're going to cover them again at camp. And then mail and how getting mail to camp works, when you should send your mail and how you should address your mail, probably along with some other things as we think of them as we get closer. The next meetings are May 22nd and 26th. Again, it's a Sunday and Thursday, and you only really have to attend one. It will be the same information. All right, so if you have any questions, go ahead and put them in the chat, and one of us, whoever's the question is more directed towards, will answer your question.
Yeah, so our first question tonight is from Trevor and Matt Nelson, and this is actually for Bijan. It's about Blackpug. Just asking really briefly, how do you register for Blackpug?
Yeah, so Blackpug is how you registered for camp. So whoever signed your unit up for Lost Valley, that is Blackpug, also called 24/7 Scouting. It is the same registration site that Orange County uses for all of its properties and all of its activities. So if you're not the registration contact, then you won't have access to that. If you should be, or you need help with that, send us an email. We may forward your email to the right person. If you send us an email about changing your reservation contact, we're going to send that to our reservation people so they can get that fixed for you. But if it's a simple question, we're happy to answer that. Is the Blackpug login the same I use for Orange County Council registrations? Yes, it should be the same one. That account should be the same account and it should be linked. Again, if you have problems, go ahead and ask us.
For Chibi, also known as Irina. So we are not having horsemanship program or horse dinner rides this year. We haven't been able to gather the staff, and we haven't been able to access quality horses this summer. So we will not be having a stables program, horsemanship or horse dinner rides. For Jamie Dornberg, this is a question about tents. Justin, do you want to answer this?
Sure. So at this point, we are planning to provide tents. So you do not need to bring your own like last year. However, if you would like to bring your own, if you have a tent that you like, that is comfortable and you prefer, there is room in campsites to set up your own tent. Sometimes adult leaders like different tents than what we provide. When we go over campsites at next month's meeting, we'll post some pictures of the types of tents we have. We have 2 different types right now, and so really just depending on the size of your unit is what campsite you're going to get and what tent style you're going to get. They both do come with cots that we provide. So if you'd like to bring extra sleeping pads to place on top of a cot or anything like that, then you're more than welcome to do all that.
Thanks. So we have another question for Bijan about Blackpug from Joey. The question is, can 2 adult leaders sign up scouts for merit badges, or is it limited to 1?
Unfortunately, only the singular registration contact will have access to that. So it is actually limited to 1. And to answer the next question, can we post the PowerPoint in general? Yes, that's a great question. And absolutely, I will post it on the website. So you have access to it. You'll be able to download or review it from there. So you can review the information or share it with your unit. And then the video that is either the Sunday video or today's video, we'll cut the best parts together, and that will get posted within the next week on the website. So you have all of that as well. When is the last day to register for merit badges? The last day is just a little bit before your first day of camp. Tori, do you know the exact cutoff for merit badges?
It would be the Saturday before camp. And then if you arrive at camp and you have scouts that need to change their classes, we'll be available Sunday to make those changes as well. So if you're unsure, we'll handle it before classes start on Monday. And then if something happens on Monday, then we can still adjust as needed. We had a question on Blackpug for if registered as a guest, should I create an account to register as scouts? So as long as you still have your information and your registration number, you can still access that. It may be easier to create an account, but it's not required if you still have the registration code for Blackpug or 24/7 Scouting.
The next question is for Justin by Lords Baker. Can troops bring their troop trailers?
Yeah, I'm going to take this next couple questions in here. So troop trailers are welcome. Keep in mind that we do have a 10-mile dirt road into Lost Valley. Longer trailers are sometimes difficult to get down the road. But yes, your troop trailers are welcome. We do allow troop trailers to stay in your campsite during the week. However, all of your vehicles will be parked in our parking lot. So if you'd like to keep your trailer and keep it for storage and keep extra things in there and keep it in your site, then yes, they are definitely welcome. Trailers are also probably the best and easiest way to transport bikes to camp. And bicycles are welcome in camp and are actually recommended. Makes it a little bit easier to get around camp. Some of our program areas are a little bit spaced out. The next question, can we request for our unit to be close to the showers and bathrooms? So every single campsite has restroom facilities in the campsite. None of the sites are super far away from the shower building. You can send a request to summercamp@ssrov.org to request a site that is close. However, again, depending on the size of your unit, that is what is really driving what campsites that you guys are going to be in. We've started placing some units in sites already as we are getting ready to set those sites up for the summer. But if you do have a special request, just send an email and we will do what we can to accommodate those requests, but cannot guarantee anything. Are there electrical outlets for leaders who have Cpap machines? We have one campsite that has electrical outlets. The best thing that we can recommend for Cpap machines is that if you have a battery operated unit, that you bring that, and then there are plenty of places where you can charge the batteries. Again, if you do have Cpap and need electrical for it, you can send a request again to summercamp@ssrov.org, and we will do what we can to accommodate those requests.
Alrighty, our next question is about camp shirts. At this time, we are not taking pre-orders for camp shirts. You can purchase them at the trading post when you get to camp. If that changes and we decide to start taking pre-orders, we'll let you know and let you know how that works. But we will have plenty of camp shirts. Just right now, our plan is to sell them at camp. And then the next question about bikes, I'll take that because it's an easy question. Are bikes allowed and do trailer transport them? Yes. Bring your bikes to camp. Wear a helmet when you're riding your bike, but we love bikes. It's recommended that you bring a bike with a bigger tire. The little tiny street bike tires don't really do super well in the sand.
We have a question about coolers. So Angie has said that if items are labeled, then they can be stored. She mentioned that in our last meeting, couldn't join us tonight, but she did say as long as it's clearly labeled, then they can be stored.
We will also have ice available as a trading post for sale during the week. And so that's available all the time. So if you would rather just keep all of your stuff iced down and with you in your campsite, then that's an option for you as well.
How do we know who the correct contact for merit badges is? If you're not sure if it's you, Tori's going to ask.
So go ahead and send me a message right now and I'll check.
If you send Tori a private message in Zoom, she'll look. Just tell her what troop you're with. She'll look that up for you real quick.
Okay, thanks.
Ooh, that's a good question. We didn't actually cover that. The question was, when registering for merit badges on the 1st, do we have to pay at that time for merit badge fees, or are they registered and get billed later? So I'm going to answer 2 questions right here. We didn't actually say. The scouts need to be paid to the current payment schedule, which right now and will be the 2nd payment. So all of your scouts that you want to register for merit badges need to have their 1st and 2nd payment made. You don't have to have final payment made. So on the first and 2nd payment, and then you'll be able to do merit badges. The second part, when you add a merit badge to the scouts account, if that merit badge has a fee, it gets added to your troops balance due, and that can get paid anytime before camp. So you don't have to pay it to continue or to save or to check out. It gets added to your account and that can get billed, taken care of however your troop makes payments for those things. Are we using blue cards for merit badge classes? That's up to you. We're using an online blue card digital advancement system all through Blackpug. So if you don't want to bring blue cards, you absolutely do not have to. All of that will get input and be available for you to download printed copies of a blue card, or you can even do an export to Scout Book or Troop Track or whatever your unit uses of your time at camp. So if you like to bring physical blue cards, you can. We will sign them, fill them out, and give them back to you. If you don't want to, our plan is to do digital advancement, which we will be doing anyways. So even if you bring us a physical blue card, we're still going to do it digital also, so that that record is there. And if you want to in the future access it, it's available to you. Next question, is there bike assistance for repairs, flats, and chains at camp?
I can take that one. So there is air available at camp to refill tires. We do have some tools that we can loan out for units to work on bikes. We, as the council and as the staff, are not allowed to work on the bikes for liability reasons. We may have extra tubes and things in the trading post, but that has not been determined yet. So it's recommended that maybe as a troop, you guys kind of bring some extra tire tubes, things like that. But we do have some things that we can loan out, and we do have air to fill tires back up. And then I'll take the next question on the ice. So I believe last year that we did $2 a bag for a 10-pound bag of ice. But don't quote me on that right now. We can finalize that and post it in a later meeting.
Tori, the next question is for you. It's from Joey. And they're asking, will a link be provided for merit badge signups on May 1st, or will it be shown on the Orange County Council webpage /login?
So to do the registration for Sunday, that is through the registration number you already have for the registration contact. So you would log into your account, or if you don't have an account, access it via your registration number. And then once you're in the registration, then you can go through and add the classes. So it isn't a link, it's already in your own registration, because as you entered the Scouts info, that's exactly where you'll enter the class info.
And then I think that next question is for you as well, Tori. Costa's asking, to clarify, for a Scout to be confirmed for their merit badges on May 1st, they will have to have paid a total of $300 by May 1st, correct?
That is correct, the first and second payment.
Got it. Vic Ramos is asking, does Lost Valley have a lake where the Scouts can go canoeing or rowing? So Justin, do you want to?
Yeah, I'll take that one. So Lost Valley has a seasonal lake that is very dependent on rainfall and snowfall. And unfortunately this year we have not had enough of either one of those to have enough water in our lake to do any type of boating on. So unfortunately that is not available this year.
Alrighty, is scoutingevent.com the same as Blackpug? Yes, it is. And where will we see the merit badge signups? On that same site. So Blackpug, 24/7 Scouting, scoutingevent.com, they all kind of go to the same place, and you will be able to do merit badge signups there. If you would like to see the list of what merit badges we're offering right now, I would recommend that you go to our website and download that as a PDF so you can look at it and send it out. And then on the 1st at 2 p.m., that part of Blackpug will become active for you to actually add classes to your Scouts. And we're going to do a demo of that if you want to stay with us after this meeting. And I just put in the chat, but if you have any other questions, now's a really good time to ask us your questions. If you don't have questions, we'll move on to the next portion of Blackpug and then be done. But please ask us your questions now. And if you forget or think of things, summercamp@ssrlv.org.
Bijan, can we ask a question versus typing
Sure.
it?
Go for it.
Just real quick, I'm assuming to be prepared for May 1st to input the merit badges, we have to go in and first input the participants, meaning their name. Do we need their BSA ID number in order to register?
It will ask you for their birthday, but you will not need their BSA ID number.
And if there are Scouts that want to take pistol or ATVs, it will require that the birthday is in there. For the classes that don't have an age requirement, you don't have to put the birthday in there, but if they are signing up for one that has an age requirement, it will not allow that Scout to register until the birthday is filled in.
Okay, so minimum to be prepared, their first and last name and their birth date. Okay, thank you.
And then Tori, do we have a cost for camp t-shirts at this time?
Can you jump on Square and check? And then we'll grab that. Okay, we're gonna start doing our overview of scoutingevent.com, 24/7 Scouting, Blackpug. I'm sorry, we are interchanging all these websites, but they are the same as our registration. So I'm going to share my screen. So that
Sorry, Tori.
Yeah.
Before you do that, can I ask a really quick question, please? For the advancement program schedule that I have here.
Yes.
This is probably maybe other people already know this, but the prerequisite/notes column, when it says 2,8 for like citizenship in the nation, what is that?
That's requirement 2 and requirement 8 for that merit badge.
Oh, okay. Oh, I see. Okay, gotcha. Okay, that's helpful. Thank you.
So for Angie, our first question is from Dawn Havenhill. Angie, do we have a meal option for scouts who are unable to eat pork?
Yes, we're gonna have a vegetarian option. So if they can't eat pork, that's okay. Just let us know that they're vegetarian, and then we'll send out the vegetarian option. If they can't have carrot, they need to let us know, so we won't send carrots.
I can take the lake level question. Currently at this time, there is not water in the lake or not enough water to provide any program. So unless California decides to bless us very shortly, we're not expecting to have lake program.
And for the horseback riding question from Michelle, so at this time, we are not going to be having a stables program. We haven't had the resources to get horses into camp, and also to get like properly trained stables staff into camp. So that actually, yeah, that covers Michelle's question, and then Martha's question. We will not be having horses this year. The types of evening programs. Yeah, that's great. We've got a lot of evening program possibilities. So all of our shooting sports run evening programs. That includes archery, rifle, shotgun. We also have paintball target shooting is an evening program. We have two different types of hikes, the Star Hike and also the Sunset Castle Rock Hike. We offer bike rides. We offer open zip lining. It shouldn't be called open zip lining. Zip lining per signups. We have a sign up sheet for that and a cap for it. We also have free swim. And these are the ones that I can come up with off the top of my head. I think last year Handicraft did like tie dyeing, but I would be, Martha from Las Vegas, if you would like to reach out to me via email, I can actually send you a more comprehensive list, but this is what's going on in my brain at this moment. This is what I'm able to recite.
And just to follow up on that, we're working on putting those all on the schedule. And once they're all scheduled out, we'll post that to our website as well under leaders links. And we will have black powder during evening program too. I did see a question on that. We just bought 2 new black powder rifles. Joe, our shooting sports director, is very excited about that program.
Tori, can you also clarify how much a scout should plan to bring for ammo for the rifle merit badge? Can you just clarify the pricing on that?
Yeah, so when they sign up for the merit badge in Blackpug, the fee associated with those shooting sports merit badges, or any merit badge that has a fee attached to it, will be added onto that scout's price. And so when they come to camp for the merit badge, any ammo used in the merit badge session is covered. Now, if they want to come back and do free shoot, or they want to go to shotgun or archery somewhere different that has a fee associated with it, such as shotgun, then they need to buy program tickets. But if they're in the merit badge class, their fee is already paid when they register for the class. And so if I'm looking at this correctly, rifle is a $35 fee for that ammunition. And I'm going to post the merit badge schedule, which has the fees in it, into the chat right now.
Thanks. For Brent Estep, there will be ATVs. We are running our ATV training program this year, so that you are aware, youth participants must be age 14 or older in order to participate in that program. That's per the Guide to Safe Scouting there. For Julie Tunnerman for merit badge signups. So whether or not there is a cap, we call that a class cap when there's a limited number of campers that can sign up. That's all on Blackpug. So that's all set up online for you. Some merit badge classes do have caps, others do not. So it really depends on the merit badge. For example, merit badge classes like aquatics, like anything at the pool, because we have numbers requirements for the number of campers that can be observed by lifeguards at any given time. That will, of course, have a class cap, right? Shooting sports have class caps. I think climbing merit badge has a class cap, things like this, right? Other merit badges don't always have class caps. So nature center merit badges like nature, mammal study, astronomy, and environmental science, they don't have class caps. But all that information is available to you on Blackpug when you go to sign up. Martha from Las Vegas, adult leaders can absolutely do the mile swim. I love that. Jump in the pool, do it, like absolutely. Oh, is there refrigeration available for items that the troop brings for the foiled dinner?
Yes, there is. Let's make sure it's labeled, troop number, and we know which troop does it belong to.
Thanks, Angie.
You're welcome, sweetie.
For black powder, Martha, if you are interested in teaching or helping out with black powder shooting sports program, I can connect you with Joe Beard, our shooting sports director. If you're interested in volunteering with that, I can connect you with him and we can get something set up. He can talk with you about your certifications.
That would be great. I just can't do black powder and mile swim at the same time.
That's probably smart. Yeah, probably smart.
I'll take the
Tom.
merit badge question, registration question. Yes, all of your scouts have to be listed to be able to sign them up. So once you have made the payment for that scout, it will let you sign them up for merit badges. And then you're going to sign up that scout for whichever merit badge they want to sign up for. So if you have open spaces, those are okay. And when you know which scouts are going to fill those spaces, you just go and add them in, and then you can fill their class blanks with that. The next question, is it possible to show the Blackpug site and screen share it for everyone familiar with the site? If you send me an email at summercamp@ssrlv.org, I can help you through that. It's going to look, you want to do it right now, Tor?
I was thinking at the end for anybody that needs it, we can do it at the end.
Cool. Sounds good.
For COPE program, actually, scouts will only be separate from the troop for one night. Yeah, they only have one overnighter. And our COPE program, it's kind of renamed at Lost Valley Camp Borrego for like general camp theme. But we do have a COPE course, like a high ropes challenge course, and they do a lot of leadership and team building games. But yeah, it's just one overnighter for that. They're only separate from the troop for one night. Oh, the forms question, is this, Bijan, could you handle this from Clark?
I'm not exactly sure which forms they're referring to, but none of the forms get submitted ahead of time. So if you're referring to like your BSA physical, parts A, B, and C, you're going to bring that to camp with you. If you're referring to the merit badge signups, that's not a physical form. It is an online software that we use to do signups. So that will be Blackpug. And that is the registration site that we use for coming to camp, as well as registering specific scouts for merit badges.
No, I was just wondering about the ABC, ATV, and shooting forms.
Yes, you'll bring all of those to camp with you.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
And that next question, do unit leaders need to bring the Part C? And to clarify, the Part C is the part that's signed by a healthcare professional, physician, PA, nurse practitioner. Yes, everybody that is coming to camp will need to have a Part C.
Okay, and then one more silly question, but do adult leaders need to sign off on ATV or shooting also? Just covering that base too.
For ATVs, yes. For shooting sports, no.
Okay, great. Thank you so much.
Tori, could you also field Martha's question? May 1st, to sign up for merit badges, does a scout need to be fully paid or just the first two amounts?
So they need to have the first two payments. So they need to be current with the payment schedule, which is the cost of $300. So up through April 16th.
And then Tori, if you could also help me out with this one by Michelle, how much are program tickets? So it really varies on the program. Yeah.
Yeah, so program tickets are $2 a ticket. It is a little bit dependent on what program you're going to. So for like shotgun, you need 2 tickets for shotgun to do 5 shots. But it's different if you're going to do like pottery in the evening, the cost. So it's just a little bit more associated specifically with the program you're looking at, but they are $2 each. And that's more so for shooting sports is really where they mostly are. So like one program ticket, which is $2, is also 10 shots at rifle. When we put out the evening program list, we'll have the cost associated on there as well as you can find it in the training post.
So the ATV, so for Emily Williams's question, how does the ATV and bouldering rock climbing activities work? So the ATV activity, that is a certification. It's a safety certification program. It's not a merit badge. It is week-long and it's a class that campers sign up for. Rock climbing is an actual merit badge class, right? It's climbing merit badge, and they can also sign up for that on Blackpug. Because for ATVs, youth participants and adults need to be certified in order to ride them on property. ATVs are really only ridden for those that are in the class. However, climbing offers evening programs. So pretty much any scout in camp can come to our indoor rock wall in Beckman Hall and climb after that. As far as I know, I don't think bouldering is permitted by the Guide to Safe Scouting, but I can confirm that. For training purposes, when we teach climbing merit badge, we might have, when we teach like climbing moves, right? We might have campers like feel holds on the wall, but we don't have them climb up heights while not tethered. I wasn't sure if you know the difference between bouldering and rock climbing.
Well, or even just, sorry, since that was my question. In the advertisement material, it had some of the, like whether it's rappelling down actual rocks rather than on a climbing wall. And so I didn't know if that was part of the program. And can they do the Cope as well as the ATV, or is that one or the other? They can't do both together.
Oh yeah, okay, great. So we do have a natural rock face. It's huge and it's gorgeous. It is pretty far away from like camp, like it's on property, but property is huge, right? This is like a massive wilderness camp, and it's a little bit of a hike to get out to the natural rock face. So only our COPE participants and our rock climbing merit badge participants will climb on the natural rock face. Also, because it's a much more advanced climb and it takes a bit more maturity as far as belay team goes, right? And a bit more strength. As per the merit badge schedule, which you can definitely find on ssrlv.org under leader links, you can see like how the sessions pan out. So ATV training course is a double session, and the COPE program is a double session. So if they schedule it right, they could absolutely do both. They could do like ATV in the morning, COPE in the afternoon, or like, you know, opposite, COPE in the morning, ATV in the afternoon.
We have a couple of Eagle Scouts that, you know, we want to still bring to camp, even though they don't need any more merit badges. And so trying to find some stuff that they'd be interested in would be great.
Oh yeah. Like Borrego is the program that's like designed for those campers. Like, yeah. And
then can I just clarify on the ATV? So is it only is there any open ATV, or it's only a merit badge program?
So there are no open ATVs. Yeah.
Okay.
And that's because like they have to have that certification before they can ride the ATVs on camp property, if that makes sense. Yeah.
Okay. Got it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Martha, is the Wednesday cookout by troop or patrol? So it's actually by troop is the way it's distributed. If your like troops leadership, if your youth leaders, your SPLs like want to split up the food per patrol, that's fine. But you should know that each campsite only has one fire ring. And all of the coals go in the fire ring. So like how you actually like want to divide that up and like split up the labor is really up to you. But when we hand you the food, it's by troop. Yeah, you get a box for your troop.
But our girl troop and our boy troop on paper are separate units.
Oh, in that case, then you would get separate boxes. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. And we
Yeah.
don't need to have them. I see Emily wants them to be in the same general area. Our boys and girls mostly are siblings too, and we would like them to be, maybe our girls can be with Emily's girls or something, because we.
And Martha, I have a note on your registration for that to be separate.
Cool. Tori, the next question is by Yvonne, Troop 33. I don't know if you're seeing this, but she's asking if you can add more scouts to their sold out week.
Yes, so the sold out weeks are closed for new units, but if we have units that would like to add more scouts, then they can add to that week. We just closed it early because always May, June, as we have crossovers with Weeblos AOLs, those kids can also join us at camp as well. So if you have more additional scouts and you're having problems getting them into the system, if you email summercamp@ssrlv.org or outdoor@ocbsa.org, we'll get you taken care of. So either one of those will get you in there.
Thanks. For Brent, SSTEP Can Adults Do the Atvs? So we always prioritize youth signups first, right? And because we have a limited number of ATVs on site, whether or not adults can take the ATV training course really depends on availability of equipment there. But that's something to kind of keep an eye on in Blackpug, and also to ask about when you arrive in camp. You know, speak with our ATV director, see what availability is like. We do our best to accommodate, you know, everyone who wants to do program. Like, that's what we're here for, you know?
Yeah, we have 22 ATVs, and so we try to, as Sarah said, try to get the kids in, but running 4 classes, we tend to have some space available. We're not promising that right now. Don't quote me, but we will try to get you as much as we can.
Yeah. Michelle, will ice be available? I think this is a question for Angie, for our kitchen team. Is Angie still in the...
Yes, I'm still here.
Cool.
Ice will be available.
Cool. Emily Williams, I think this is a great question for Tori about registration. If we have a girls troop and a boys troop with siblings, can the troops be in the same general area?
Emily, can you tell me what troop number you're with? And yes.
Yeah, we have troop 161 and 181.
Perfect. I'll take care of it right now.
Thanks.
Don Havenhill, what kind of cell reception is there at camp? I'm going to tell you right now, no cell reception, not a thing. There are some like little teeny tiny spots where, like, if you have AT&T and you're next to the big metal flagpole, you can maybe get a single text message. But I'm gonna be 100% honest with you, like, no cell service. If you need to communicate with people outside of camp, we do have Wi-Fi access in the dining halls, in Central. Central is the area where the business office is, and the med lodge is, and the Rangers maintenance bay is, and all that good stuff. If you need to keep up on emails and do business phone calls and whatnot, all of our adult leaders do have Wi-Fi access. And actually, if you want more detailed information on that from our ranger, please do watch the recording of the last meeting from March. Our ranger gave a little talk about like communications in camp. So he's got more information for you on like how Wi-Fi gets accessed and all that good stuff. Julie, for merit badge signups, do they have to be paid in full or just current for second payment? I think Tori, you answered this a little bit. Oh, got that. Right. Perfect. Okay. And thank you, everyone. You are all very welcome. Thank you. Thank you for being here and asking questions.
If you have any other questions, now's the time. We're just sticking around until questions are done. When there's no more questions, then we'll end our meeting. You're welcome to go anytime that you want. And this will be posted after the Thursday meeting this week. And as a reminder, the Thursday meeting is the exact same information. So you don't have to come to it. If you want to come and listen to the questions, sometimes people find that helpful, but we'll put them together and post it sometime after Thursday for you or your unit leaders. So we'll take your other questions. Otherwise, thanks for coming.
Yeah, Brent, are bikes recommended? Yeah, bikes are fun. Please, yeah, have your youth bring your bikes, have your adults bring their bikes, so that you're aware. Everybody, including adults, yeah, Tori, have to have helmets. So adults must wear helmets in camp at all times. So when they bring their bikes, also bring your helmets. Yeah, very, very important. There are no paved roads in camp. So if you are bringing bikes, probably best to not bring your skinny tire road bike. That's not the bike you want in soft sand. Just like pro tip on that one. Yeah. Tori, you unmuted.
We have a question on troop trailers. Yes, so troop trailers are allowed in or just outside of the campsite. They'll need to be parked in and backed in off the road, but they will be allowed to stay in your campsite. Cars are not allowed to stay in campsites, but troop trailers are.
Thank you.
Dawn, we do not need notification beforehand of trailers. Typically, on average, most every troop brings a trailer, so we assume as much, that most of our troops are bringing trailers. So we have a question on the road. Is a 4x4 needed to navigate the roads at Lost Valley? No, we do recommend any vehicles with a higher ground clearance. We have seen bugs, sedans, Teslas all come into camp. But we would suggest any vehicles with a higher ground clearance. It is a 10-mile dirt road to get into the camp.
Oh yeah, Tori, do we have an EV charger in camp? We do not have an EV. Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, yeah, we do not have an EV charger in camp. Yeah.
Okay, if we do not have any more questions, I'm going to go into Blackpug and share my screen so we can start looking at this. I am going to, if the system's going to look a little bit different if anybody tries to log on right now. So don't freak out. Tori's going to break the system for a moment to fix it again. So as I do this, so give me 1 second to get us here. Beej, I'm turning on class scheduling, FYI. And then we'll go back and fix it. Okay, so let me share my screen.
And then as a reminder, we're going to be available as soon as Merit Badge registration opens for you. If you want to jump in our Zoom meeting so that we can help you with that, we are totally going to be available for that.
Okay, so this is Tori's troop going to camp. So when you come into here, this should be what you see. You put in your youth. So I have 3 adults and 4 youth coming to camp. Right now it's showing a fee still due. When you all go in, it should show that you have paid $300, otherwise it will not let you register for classes. And then you're going to go into update information. Beej, can you see why classes aren't coming up? So what's going to happen is I'm going to talk you through this while Bijan fixes it on the back end, is when you come to put in the Scouts information, no matter what it is, there will be a pop-up that says view classes or choose classes. So I'm going to refresh real fast and hope that we get us in there. And we're going to go all the way back. Come on, computer. You seeing it, Bijan?
I am getting there.
And this is why Bijan and I will be on the Zoom with you, just in case anything like this happens. When we did this last year, Bijan and I opened it up at midnight and we're online with people. So we've learned to do it in the afternoon, which is just a little bit easier. So I know what it is, Bijan.
Okay.
It's under forms. You have to, there we go. All right, this should work now. Sorry, everybody. When we activate it, we have to go in and just toggle a few buttons and then it all goes perfectly. All right, Tori Harris.
Please don't try and go sign up right now. If it works, we're gonna cancel them. So please don't do it. But we want to show you how this is gonna look for you.
Okay, so as I was saying, we have John Klein is our scout. And so under gender, birth date, now we can go into classes. So you'll go ahead and click select classes. And now it's going to populate everything that John can do. And it's going to give the times as well. So if we see archery merit badge, it's going to give the session or the time. So this is from 9 to 11:30 because it is a double session. The additional times, how many spots available, the days of the classes, who's teaching it, if there's a prerequisite, all that kind of stuff. So John is an Eagle Scout. So we're going to go ahead and put him in ATVs. And it's going to make you choose their age, right? So this is a 14-year-old class. And so we're going to go 2009. I'll make them old enough. Nope. 7. And now I'll go ATVs, right? So now it'll let us put him in there because he is the minimum age of 14. And then he also wants to do metalworking because he's working on a palm. And so as soon as you choose one for session 2, it's going to stop showing you options for session 2 or session 1. It'll immediately go to session 3 and 4 to start choosing stuff. And then.
So if you're trying to register for a merit badge and your scout already has a couple on their classes and you can't find it on available, it might be because there's a conflict. So if it's a double class of archery and a double class of rifle, their schedule's now full and it's not going to show you anything else. So just keep an eye on that if you have conflicts.
And so we're going to put them in shotgun shooting, right? And shotgun shooting is that double period. So that means it automatically takes away from session 4. And so you would just do that for each scout. And so what I would suggest if you haven't already done it is make sure you know your scout schedules and the order that it is. How it is presented on Blackpug is what it is on that form that's on the website. And that way you can just go in and say, okay, Matt's taking this, 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 and this, and move on. Bijan and I will be watching it as the summer approaches. So if there are any classes that fill up really fast that we need to add more instructors for or make some changes for, we will be adding more classes or opening caps and whatnot, just to make sure that we can get in as many kids as we can for those classes. Does anybody have any specific questions on Blackpug right now?
To answer Dawn's question, will it give you the chance to choose backups? It will not. Some of the classes have a waiting list enabled. I'm thinking through giving all of the classes a waiting list, but right now some of the classes that usually fill up pretty quickly have a waiting list enabled, but otherwise you can only pick to fill your schedule and then it caps you out at signing up for things. The next question, once all merit badges are picked, does the troop have to pay to confirm them? No, it will save it and just add it as a balance to your account, a balance owed to your account. Do we need to worry if a scout has session 1 on opposite side of camp from session 2? No, there is enough time to get from any one merit badge to any other merit badge in camp, especially if your scout has a bike. Some scouts do take a little bit of time to travel, longer than other scouts. So if that's something that your scout needs to keep in mind, I would reference our camp map as to what you sign them up for. If you have the option to, when I'm signing up my scouts, I tend to try and pick things in an order that makes sense. So if you can schedule archery and then rifle, and then swimming, that makes more sense than archery, swimming, rifle. So if you can think through that, that's really helpful, but there is definitely time to get there. Once you're, the next question is about having a list of things that you're already registered for. Under your account, you'll have access to forms and reports. And so you will be able to pull a report with your schedule. And Tori's trying to pull it up for right now, And you will be able to see which scouts are signed up for which things. And you can print this and hand it to them so they can take it with them to camp. So that will be available as you sign up. It updates these reports. So the reports are live. You just have to regenerate them after you make any changes. Registration for merit badges starts May 1st and opens at 2 p.m. 2 p.m. When does a scout officially get registered for a course? So after you have selected the course on the Scouts account, just like Tori was showing us earlier, you go to select classes. As soon as you click it, it's in their schedule now. It is there and saved.
Thank you.
Kelly, for the map of where each merit badge is located. So we have a map of camp available on ssrlv.org. I'm pretty sure, Bijan, right? And then we also, what you want to do is look at those, we call them program areas. Each program area has a certain number of merit badges that are taught there, kind of based on their theme, right? This is all under leader links. Tori is showing you how to get there, ssrlv.org. Once you can see where all the program areas are located, we also have a link to the merit badge schedule that shows you what merit badges are located at what area. So you kind of want to like have both of those documents up and available to you while you're figuring out where each merit badge is. That helps. Yeah. Yeah, thanks, Bijan. This is great. This is a map of camp.
Does anybody have any more questions about Blackpug? We're gonna probably jump in about 1:30, so a little bit before the registration opens, just to make sure everybody is getting into their accounts, and then we will open it and make it live at 2 o'clock. And then we'll stick around and answer any questions, go through little tutorials like this as we do, just to make sure that everybody has an opportunity to sign up for those classes. The big thing that we ran into last year is making sure everybody does have to be paid on time with the fee schedule. Otherwise, it will not allow you to register for classes. So that is the biggest thing, is if payments are not in, it will not allow you to register for classes. Okay, so we are in my troops account, and so I will say, if you go in right now, the system looks a little differently, so please don't go into yours right now, because it'll make the back end a little screwy. So what you'll do is you see yourself up there, you have your scouts names in here, your adults. Once you click into your scout, you're gonna see what looks like schedule right here. And then you're gonna click select classes. And then you'll have the option of putting in classes. It's gonna show the classes that are in the first session first. It tells you how many spots are available, who's teaching it, any costs associated with it. Archery is a double session, so it shows that it's from 9 to 11:30, so you can see that on their schedule. So John is an older scout, so we're going to put them in ATVs. I have their birthday in there already, so it allows me to put that in. If their birthday shows that they are not 14, it would not let them register for that class. And so now that I've taken up the first session, it already shows me the options for session 2. So we're going to put them in metalworking, and then just like before, it'll only show me, it'll do session 3, game design, and then welding. And so now that we've had this, it will, this creates their schedule, and then the fees are added onto it. So now if I come back out here, we have John's price, which is $529, and then the class fee for that too. So now John is registered in those classes. And then when we collect fees in May, then that'll be added onto that fee for that. Does anybody have any questions on this? Do you want me to go through this again?
I have a question, Tori.
Yes.
Just to confirm, when you selected each of the classes, did you have to hit like save or confirm, or did you just X out? So you just X'd out once you selected the classes.
Yeah, and so if you needed to, oh, I don't want to put them in archery, you just come over here and click it, and it will go back. So yeah, it automatically saves. So if I only signed them up for session 3, 1, 3, and 4, it'll let me do that. It just kind of depends, and then it will try to give you session 2, and then I can decide, no, they're going to take the morning off for whatever reason, and you can just save it like that and exit, and it will, when we go back in, it's still there, and it shows it a little bit prettier when you go back to review.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So it sounds like it's all first come, first serve for selection. So I'm just thinking ahead here. Should we register our older scouts in the troop first, like for the Eagle required ones, like the ones who really need it before they get older, versus like signing up the younger ones for that same merit badge? Like give priority, or is that just?
Typically the most popular classes I would say are pistol and ATV. So if you know you have students or scouts that want to do those, I would suggest doing those ones first, which are the older kids. But otherwise, we're watching the merit badge program and seeing like, oh, citizenship in the community filled up really quickly, we need to add another class, and trying to accommodate and make sure like, oh, we're going to add another staff member here so we can up that limit, or add a whole nother class so that we can make sure we're getting all the scouts that need it in that class as well. Okay. It's just a little bit harder with shooting sports and ATV because those are harder caps.
Yeah.